Guys, if you can either please take off your hats so the lights won't too much of a shade. David, please start with us with a overview, please.
Well, I mean, honestly, we pitched well early. Even though Nolan gave a couple of hits and a run in the first, I thought he really attacked the zone well, and he was a little bit of a victim of 2 strikes, maybe just leaving the ball in the middle, not in the middle of the plate, but a pitch they could hit. And so he gave up a little bit there, but he really, really settled in the middle of the game and pitched ahead, had a wipeout slider at times, and made quality pitches. And then we just got there in the 6th, and the game kind of unraveled, went back-to-back singles, and at that point, I just felt like he started pitching behind. And, you know, hindsight's a beautiful thing. You know, you look back at that, and you would really say should have stuck with Nolan, but Parker Joe hadn't walked 2 guys the entire year back-to-back, and that's what happened, and it just unraveled. So we tried to get it settled down with Chase right there and finish the inning, and just, again, they just continued to hit and just created a huge deficit.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. Have a question, raise your hand, and we'll get a mic to you. This is for the student athletes only for this first portion here. Okay, Danny, we'll start with you.
Nolan, Danny Davis, Austin American Statesman. Nolan, in that 6th inning, what kind of happened to those first 2 batters, and did you feel like you could have stayed in the game, that you still had stuff in the tank?
Yeah, I mean, the pitch count was down. Just a couple balls were just run away from me, and leaving the ball up, and made a few mistakes, and they capitalized, and that was it.
Okay, right up here.
Dustin McComas, OrangeBloods.com. Nolan, you guys haven't really been through mini games like this in a long, long time. What was the mood afterwards? You're one of the veteran guys. What was said amongst the team after the loss?
Super regional. I mean, we lost the first game. I mean, we've been here before. All we can really look forward to is the next game and worry about game 2 and move on from there.
Okay, Danny again.
Same question to Tate. What's kind of the mood for the team, and what do you guys have to do to keep going here in Omaha?
Everyone's down right now, but I'm sure everyone will get over it. It's baseball. Gotta forget.
Next question, Danny.
Either the players, what did you guys kind of do during that lengthy delay, and how did you guys get kind of warmed back up and get back into the game?
Tate, you start, please.
Everyone just kind of chilled and sat down. It was pretty quiet.
I would say it's more of just everyone just kind of staying off your feet and being ready to come back, and we knew what the situation was and trying to basically minimize as much as possible.
Nick Moyle, San Antonio Express-News. Nolan, probably not the start that you wanted, but what do you take away from this, and what do you kind of try to forget or move on from next time you get out there?
Arkansas is a great hitting team. I mean, they found a lot of barrels today, and I left a few mistakes up, and they hammered it. I mean, it's baseball.
Go again, Nick.
Tate, obviously, you go 3 for 3 today, and you're hitting pretty well in the super regional. How do you, balance out? You have a good performance, but the rest of the team doesn't. What do you take away from that individually, if anything?
I don't really take anything away from it. I mean, we lost the game, so it doesn't really matter in the end.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Going once, twice. Oh, quick.
Nolan and Tate. What did you guys? Obviously, you have that really long rain delay. What's the mood? What are y'all talking about in there? And have you ever been involved in a game like that where you're stopped, bases loaded, you're in a really weird situation, and you have this almost 3-hour delay?
Nolan.
Yeah, I mean we've had it I think a couple times. One was is West Virginia. Sometimes it can go good for you, and sometimes it can not. It depends on what the rally's going on. And in this situation, I think it could have went better for us. It gave us time to settle down and have a plan going moving forward, and just happened to not go our way.
Tate.
It's happened earlier in the year, and it actually turned out better every single time earlier, but this time it just didn't.
Okay, the last one for the student athletes, Danny.
Nolan, since your pitch count was in the 80s today, do you feel going forward this is kind of a situation like last week where you could be available later in the week if needed?
Yeah, I mean, whenever basically I need to come in, I'm going to come in and determining whenever it is. We'll see.
Guys, thank you. We'll see you on Tuesday. You hold on.
I'm in the hot seat, huh?
Yeah. We'll wait for them to clear out. Okay, first question for David, please. We'll start right here.
Dustin McComas, OrangeBloods.com. David, take us through the thought process after the long delay. You choose to go with Chase in that situation. He throws just 11 pitches. Does that affect his availability at all as a potential starter for the next game? And what was the thinking there?
No, that's why he only went 11. The thinking was we're in a pickle. We need to get our best guy in the game right now. And if we can get it within one run, as far as giving up one run, so it's a 4-run deficit, and then we can tack on runs, maybe 2, then we were going to stick with Chase. Otherwise, we're going to get him out, keep him available, and move to the next guy, and that's what we did.
So the plan was always 1 inning unless you guys added on?
Yeah, if we were in a game at that point, we were going to continue with Chase, but you didn't want to burn him in a deficit, so pulled him and went to Cam, and it just wasn't good. I thought Chase threw solid pitches, but they hit early in the count. You have to throw quality pitches early, and I mean he threw pitches with velocity, but poor location.
I think Kirk was just before you.
Kurt Bowles from the Austin American. David, are you a little bit shell-shocked to give up 11 runs? Y'all gave up 14 in 6 games. Do you feel like Arkansas is just that good a hitting team?
They were today, and I thought early in the game we pitched well. You just can't afford to pitch behind against Arkansas, and that's what happened when we got unraveled. Either we pitched behind or we tried to get strike one and threw, white on white instead of a quality pitch. And I'm not shell-shocked. It's just part of it. It's not the way we wished it had gone. Unfortunately, it got away from us, and we couldn't, we just couldn't overcome the deficit.
Okay, Danny.
David, is there anything to be taken out of the later innings? Austin comes in, gets a good hit, which I'm sure was nice to see. Michael has a couple nice at bats. You guys show some fight. Is there anything to be taken out of those last couple innings?
I mean, that's the same reason why we threw so many guys, to give them opportunity, because as we get deeper in this tournament, I want guys that have been on the bump. And those 2 guys have earned the right to play, and it was the perfect time to play both of them. And it also rests DJ and gives Michael the opportunity he deserves. And then Austin's been coming. So knowing late today, had they come with the left-hander in a situation, I knew I was going to hit Austin anyhow. So it was good to give him a couple of at-bats and get his feet wet.
Joe Cook with Inside Texas. Coach, what did you see on that ground ball to McKenzie that David tried to turn on the double play, and whether he turned into the field and when he shoved Jake? What was the explanation on that?
We talked a lot about the play. I thought Jake did the ball was a rocket and he handled it well, but I think when he slightly bobbled the ball, I think David lost his timing on that. And so he probably got a little bit on his front foot early instead of staying behind the bag on that. And then I think once that happened, I felt like it looked like David felt like he had to rush, and probably still didn't. He could have gathered his feet, but that's what it looked like. I haven't talked to David about it. The coaches, we've talked about it, but I just haven't talked to David. I'll ask him.
The shove, anything from that?
No, it wasn't anything. I mean, it was competitive. I didn't think anything of it. I went out basically to make sure that he turned the correct way and to make sure that there wasn't anything else going to happen.
Okay.
Travis Levinka, the Daily Texan. Coach, what went into wearing the number 16 jersey today? Obviously, it's Augie's number. What went to wearing that?
Well, like we've talked about since Coach's passing, we basically have come to the conclusion that he's a huge piece of our program. He's a huge piece of this team. And so I talked to the players about it early on, early in the week, and basically said the story about how it happened with Woody Woodman and Augie wore his number 2 jersey. And Vinny and I were sitting in the clubhouse at Oklahoma City, and I said, Vinny, if we make it to Omaha, I want to wear number 16. And he said that would be really cool. So I'd start working on it. And he got the jerseys together. Once we clinched the Super Regional, I walked in my office, and Vinny was sitting there holding them. So it was a good moment, but I was able to talk to the players about it. And what I was impressed with is there wasn't any fist pumps nor anyone rolling their eyes. It was basically the same way we've approached it from day one, and understanding he's a piece of us. And I know Augie would not want to be the center of attention, and I think he would probably appreciate the way we handled it.
Okay, this will be the last question. Kirk?
One, will Chase be a possibility to start? Are you already thinking about Henley? And are you worried about any mental hangover from this?
No, they're both available. I haven't chose which one yet. It may have something to do with who we face. I will say I like Chase following Henley more so than I like Henley following Chase, but there's still no decision.
David, thank you.
Yes, sir.
See you Tuesday, buddy.
All right.